Carolina Panthers at the Miami Dolphins. The Panthers are 2-point road favorites, 41.5 to 42. Your total in this one. Steven, we know what the story is. Cam Newton is back under center for the Panthers. It did not equal a win for them last week. Will it equal a win for them this week against the Miami Dolphins? What we do know from the Dolphins camp, and this was one of the things where I thought last week it would make the Dolphins at least a bit intriguing, but it actually really lets the air out of the balloon here. No Devontae Parker or Will Fuller this week for the Dolphins. Neither one of them are ready to come back. So it still kind of goes back to this offense where it's more of a dink and dunk type thing where the two deep threats are not really there. So I was interested. I thought I might be interested in the Dolphins last week when I was kind of looking ahead to the game this week, but with no Parker, with no Fuller, I think this is probably just a stay away from me. What do you like here?
Well, I'll start by saying our senior writer Mo Noir's midseason power ratings that were based largely off closing lines throughout this season had Carolina 2.5 points better than Miami on a neutral. So we're getting 2 here in Miami with home field for the Dolphins. So maybe off by a little bit, but we're still talking about dead numbers here. So I do think it's a coin flip game. With a total of only 42, I do think this sets up nicely for, at least on paper, Miami being a teaser leg here. You're teasing them through the 3, through the 7 to get +8 if you're looking at a +2 at your book right now. Miami's defense over the last 4 weeks, we talked about it in past weeks, but if you're just catching up now, number 4 in EPA per play, number 5 in rush EPA, number 6 in rush success rate, and that had games against Buffalo and Baltimore during that stretch. So it wasn't just cakewalk opponents for this Miami defense over the past month. And listen, Cam Newton was obviously an improvement last week over what Sam Darnold was trotting out there, but that was also against the Washington football team's number 30 DVOA defense. So if you go back to last week's pod, you can listen why I'm still fading Cam Newton coming off the street with a new coaching staff here in Carolina. And admittedly, the Miami offense has also been bad. This is a bad matchup for them against the Carolina D. But if you look at the low over-under and the implied team totals here, with the teaser leg of +8, it's suggesting that you really just need 17 points from Miami. That's what it's implying we need here to cover this teaser spread. So I think that's a low enough bar for me to pull the trigger here on what is, at least on paper, a best practices teaser leg.
Brad, Cam Newton was not the savior last week. He comes into a game against the Dolphins, who sneaky under the radar, I think, have maybe a little bit better of a defense than the stats suggest. I think that I would rank them a little bit higher, I think, than maybe some of the stuff out there really suggests here. What do you think this week, sitting here with a 2-point spread in favor of the Panthers?
Seem to have a lot of bets, but I like the Panthers -2 here. So on the offensive side of the ball, I thought Cam looked very good. They didn't ask him to do too much. I think, he ran a limited playbook. Obviously, he's been in the building 7 days at that point. So we've got another week where he's going to have some more plays, some more concepts to add to his repertoire. But he looked faster than he has for years, and his arm looked better than he has for years. And I think he said before the game he felt as good as he has in years. And I tweeted out, like, it's a real thing that these 30-plus athletes with a lot of wear and tear on their bodies, they take a year off like Buster Posey in baseball, and they come back just much better, right? Because nobody's taken more hits than Cam Newton. Or he might be 6'5" and a giant, but he's taken a battering from linebackers for 10 years. So, I do think he's a significant improvement on Sam Darnold. And they're going to try and run the ball against this Dolphins team, and that's not what the Dolphins want. They want you to try and throw the ball against them because they've got good corners. So I think the Panthers should be able to move the ball somewhat, especially with CMC back. That went a little bit under the radar. I know running backs don't matter, but he's a great pass catcher. So yeah, I like the Panthers to move the ball. And then other side of the ball, we've got the number 4 pass rushing team in the NFL by pass rush win rate in the Panthers against the dead last pass blocking line. So yeah, the Dolphins have got some wins against the likes of Houston and the Jets and stuff, but there's no pass rush at all. Whereas this lot are going to be coming down their throat hard as it were. So I like the matchup both sides of the ball, and it's quite a cheap price to lay.
Yeah, Cam Newton kind of under the radar, the number 6 graded passer in the NFL in week 11. Not to be outdone, Tua was actually the 4th graded passer in the league. I do have a slight lean. It's not in the account. It will probably be a contest play for me for sure on the Panthers. I haven't put it in the account quite yet, but something I will certainly be considering as we move forward here.